So my neighbor is pregnant from a donor, and it's nothing unusual about it, but it still caught me by surprise because I asked her, like, are you going to have a partner? And she said, no, I'm going to do it all by myself. And as a single mom, I told her it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough not to have a little bit extra support when you really need it. And she said, yeah, I know. And she just smiled at me, all happy. She said, I'm going to do this. Anyway, all my girlfriends are single moms. And she says, I have my mom. And I admire her. I really admire her because it takes a lot. And she's going to join the Super Mom Club. So today, I want to talk to you about super moms. I want to talk to you about the genes that everyone has been talking about, and about some emerging couples in Hollywood and in Canada that do need to be mentioned. We're Canadians. We are joining forces with people. So welcome to another episode of Lift Her Weight Podcast. My name is Anna Nova, and I want to thank you for all of you who are subscribing and following me. Today I got a bit more subscribers on the channel. It's really exciting when I see the numbers go up, even if it's one per day. And follow me on Instagram at AnnaNovaFit, and let's make this channel ours, because here you will find content that is, I hope it will help you, from reviews to this podcast and any behind the scenes experiences of me as a bodybuilder and living a healthier, better, more disciplined life. I hope to share with you information that will help you navigate this very, very, very interesting world that we live in. So let's dive in. Last weekend, I went to see the Fantastic Four. I had no expectations about it. I barely remember the first one, the first kind of version with Jessica Alba. The only thing that I remember is that I didn't really like it. So I had no expectation for this version. And it caught me by surprise. First of all, I absolutely loved the aesthetics and the costumes and the vibe of the film. But another thing that I found very interesting was Sue Storm. Sue Storm is the first pregnant superhero protagonist in the major MCU film. And this pregnancy is framed as an essential part of the story and of the storyline. Sue herself, the whole film, was pretty much, the motherhood was a very big part of this film and what carried this film forward. And I celebrate that. Of course, there were a lot of things that were not quite close to reality when it comes to motherhood. To me, the whole birth scene was very weird. Even the very fact that she was so far pregnant and she got on a spaceship. But then, of course, we can excuse it by the fact that she's a superhero, right? She had superpowers. I honestly wish I saw more. And maybe that's what it really made it work. I really celebrated the fact that we're seeing pregnancy and motherhood, and I really liked the way KIRBY expressed motherly love on screen. I really felt that, and I celebrated that, and maybe that's why I wanted to see more. I wanted to see them really portray motherhood a bit more closer to reality. The sleepless nights, the mood swings, because we do get the mood swings, the moments where you look horrible, and you do look horrible lots of the time, especially those early days of motherhood. The idea of that, you don't know how to organize your life because a baby, especially a newborn baby, will throw you off the loop. Every day is a new challenge. There's no way you can have a schedule, and you try to run a schedule so your life can have some structure, but with a newborn, this is kind of not really happening. But in the end, it kind of happens, and you're like, okay, how did I make this work? But you make it work. So I really wanted this to be a bit closer to reality, to have experienced a bit more. But I understand it was the film. They had to build the narrative, the superhero narrative, and we see the bad guy, and we see the threat to society. But motherhood saved it. And I really like that part. And it makes me think about all of us women, whether we're mothers or we're dog moms or we're the cool aunties or grandmoms. It makes me think about how much we lift, right, as women. And that's kind of at the core of this podcast, right? Lift her weight. So it's a movie that I celebrate, and it's a portrayal that I celebrate, and I hope that we see more of that. What are your thoughts on Sue Storm and the way motherhood was presented? Critics point out that the recurring trope of mothers sacrificing themselves even when they're superheroes, and they also point out that Sue's emotional intelligence and communication are central to the team's survival. So critics celebrate this as well. And I did find that Sue's emotional intelligence was very well portrayed in the film. But again, I guess it would have been more impactful if we actually saw how this developed from... It's a big difference between being an expecting mother and bam, one day you're already a mother. It throws you into a lot of self-growth while you're trying to raise a newborn. So I wonder what your take is on that. Another thing that I appreciate about the film, and it's kind of like cheeky, is how we married super with mom and super mom, right? And we all say, as I said at the beginning, all moms are super moms. But what if Sue didn't have any powers and she had to face Galactus to save her baby? I thought it was a funny question, and I actually thought about it because I was sharing with my friend. You know, if someone was trying to even threaten my own son, I would completely rip them to pieces. Not obviously in a brutal way, but the mother kind of confidence and courage and invincibility, you feel it. You feel it when you know that your child is in danger or maybe in danger. So what do you think? If she didn't have superpowers, do you think she would have been able to win this battle? I think she would. The other side that the film really tried to capture, and I did think it needed a bit more time, because I really appreciated the actors gave their best, was fatherhood. And the way men transition from, again, an expectant father, the idea of it, to, okay, I'm in the dip of it. I'm a father. I'm a dad now. Should I pull out my dad jokes notebook, right? MCU really tried to make it obvious, which at first I was rolling my eyes at it when Sue would challenge Reed about the way he approaches their son, or the way he approaches them as a family, and trying to challenge him to really start think like a father. And again, at first I was like, okay, this is so lame, right? But I understand why it had to be so obvious, why it had to be so in your face. And so, because we need to start to open up the conversation about what we go through when we become parents, the way our personalities and our lives and our values change as we become parents. So I really celebrate MCU for trying to do that, even if it was so cringingly obvious that they were trying to do it. You know, maybe if it wasn't a mother and I haven't had these experiences, I would have actually appreciated it, and it would really slap me in the face and kind of make me think about what it means to be a parent, maybe. But when I'm a parent right now, it felt a little bit comical to me to see it so bluntly portrayed. But the actors did a great job. And again, by the very fact that I really want to see more, talks about what a service that this film is doing for parenthood, and recognizing that parenthood is, an ongoing battle, and one that is filled with cute moments of babies and just love. The second thing that I thought that we should touch on this week is kind of leads into the whole family and stuff thing, and passing on genes. And it's the controversial genes ad by American Eagle, featuring Sydney Sweeney, and the wordplay on genes. Let's take a look at the ad.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
I don't know, I'm a blonde too, right? My eye color is brown, so I guess I should invest into brown jeans. But brown looks so bad on me. I don't like brown. I don't like how brown looks on me. And imagine brown jeans. Oh my goodness, that makes me think of the khaki jeans with the, flare legs. And, I would totally actually rock it with a white t-shirt. When I first saw the ad, I thought it was just stupid. Honestly. I did not. Maybe it's because I don't care about Sydney Sweeney. Because I don't really like her acting, though many people would argue that she's an incredible actress. She still, I guess, hasn't caught up to me. Maybe I haven't seen something that makes me impressive. I'm probably going to get hate for it. But I thought the ad was just lame. Again, the first thing I thought to myself, do I need to buy brown jeans now because my eye color is brown? But then I went online, and I saw the criticism about it being a neo-Nazi propaganda, and tapping into the rhetoric of eugenics. And it's horrible. And I can see it. I can see it for sure. When the first thing that I thought about after reading the comments was, well, yeah, obviously that they made this ad. American Eagle knows exactly what they're doing. Sydney Sweeney knows, I hope she knows exactly what she's doing. If she doesn't know, that's even worse. Because look at the political environment that we live in. Look at who is the head of America, aka American Eagle, right? American Eagle is an American company. The eagle is the representation of America. This is so, I don't want to be a conspiracist, but this is so bluntly obvious why we have this advertisement right now. White supremacy, unfortunately, is what's been having a comeback lately under Trump with, look at how much he's done to try to reverse any progress and any celebration of cultural diversity, EDI. He's even trying to dumb us down by defunding education, science, and anything that can bring more knowledge and more prosperity and more build a community around people that are different from each other. So that's not surprising. That advertisement does not surprise me at all. But what I liked even more when I read today is the White House reacted to this. And I'm going to read to you what they said. I need to pull it up on my laptop. White House slams outrage over Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle Act, calls it big reasons American voted for Trump. I like the way how they flipped it now, right? They completely flipped it. This is all a political game. And again, I don't want to be a conspiracist, but I won't be surprised if this whole ad was pre-planned for them to flip it. So, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung took to social media on Tuesday to defend Sweeney's new campaign for the clothing brand American Eagle. And he used it to slam liberals' reactions to its ad. He said, cancel culture run amok. Chung wrote of the negative response to the campaign, which included claims that the brand is glorifying a racial ideal during a fraught political time. Chung took things a step further by adding this warped, moronic, and dense liberal thinking is the big reasons why Americans voted the way they did in 2024. They're tired of this cow poo. Even this response itself, I mean, why are you getting involved? Seriously, the White House. Why are you getting involved? This is part of pop culture. Stay away, right? But the fact that they're getting involved, unfortunately, it kind of confirms even more that this criticism that we're slamming this advertisement, we're onto something here. So we are onto something, that there's something wrong. If the White House left it be, if they did not even touch it, this whole thing, we could have had our conversations. Maybe Sydney Sweeney could have reacted, American Eagle could have reacted, and this could have been left part of the pop culture kind of thing. But the White House got involved. Now politics is involved. Just as my thoughts before this even came out. It's all political, and this confirms it. So using this advertisement to say that this is the reason why people voted for Trump, well, I'm going to turn around and say, well, advertisement like this is the reason why we are headed in a direction that we shouldn't be heading. We're reversing. We're reversing back society. We're reversing back prosperity. And we're reversing back what America is supposed to be for everyone, right? But what this article mentions is there is an influencer on TikTok who spoke also about it, Jess Britvich, and she shares my thoughts. She says that users can't keep pretending that marketing is created in a vacuum and the campaign doesn't exist without the culture it's selling it to. And she mentions further about how similar this ad is to the comments that Donald Trump made in 2020 in Minnesota, where he kept praising the Minnesota crowd that came to his rally about them having good genes because they're white.
Minneapolis, thank God we still have Minneapolis. To right here with all of you great people. This state was pioneered by men and women who braved the wilderness and the winters to build a better life for themselves and for their families. They were tough and they were strong. You have good genes, you know that, right? You have good genes. A lot of it's about the genes, isn't it? Don't you believe? The racehorse theory, you think was so different? You have good genes in Minnesota. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of luxury. But they had grit, they had faith, and they had each other. It's what you have now. You have each other.
And the funny thing is that 80% of Minnesota is white. And I'm looking at the crowds here surrounding the rally. They are blah, 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 blah. I'm finding it hard. I'm playing Find Waldo, trying to find anyone of different color. And again, genes. Honestly, this is just way too close to what this ad is saying. I had a different experience growing up as a white woman in the Soviet countries. And I recognize here as living in North America as a white woman, I have a responsibility and I have a privilege that I can share with others and hopefully pave the way for others. But this example of this ad really makes me think of how we see even women, mothers, and the whole worthiness thing. We have Sue Storm, who is elevating women. You know, she's also blonde, white. She's elevating women in motherhood and really showcasing, using her, KIRBY using her power and influence to celebrate women and to pave the way for women and for mothers. And then we have another blonde, blue-eyed Sydney Sweeney tearing things down. So let me know, what do you think? Just comparing the two, what are your thoughts about how women can influence our society today and our role in it? Because this really is putting into question, what is our role in society today? And love is in the air lately. I mean, especially for Canadians. I don't know if you've heard, but Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson may be a thing. You know? And I think this is so cute. And I think this is wonderful. And if it's PR for their movie, I'm still gonna dig it and milk it and enjoy it until it lasts. If it's something serious, I celebrate it. I love both Liam Neeson. Pam has had a very roller coaster of a life, and I really want to see this happen. It's cute. It's cute seeing them together. And I'm definitely going to go see the movie and share with you what I think about the movie The Naked Gun coming up. Another couple making the news is, and that completely blew my socks off, Katy Perry and our former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. I did not see that one coming at all. You know? I mean, sure, like I can see them, their vibe is really vibing, looking at them as individuals and kind of picturing them together. I can see it. But I was like, how did that happen? My major question is, how did they meet? Like, did he slide into her DMs? Like, I don't know. Did she flew to Canada and, I don't know, bumped into him in a cafe? I don't know how it happened. I'm really curious about that. But I, of course, went on the internet and a lot of people were saying, hey, it makes sense because his son is trying to drop an album and make it into the music industry, and maybe he reached out to her for vocal coaching to to do a featuring song with his son. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to make it into the music industry and become his son's manager. Maybe he's gonna be the next Timbaland. I mean, Trudeau, Timbaland, kind of. It's the same letter T, but it's an interesting coupling, and it is getting the buzz. It is also telling us that love comes in, finds everyone. There's hope for anyone single. I don't know, I'm making a joke out of it, but I think it's funny. It completely woke my class up on Tuesday when I broke the news to them. It's like, by the way, guys, I was doing this very extended video editing lesson, and it was complete silence, and I was sure nobody was listening to me until I said, by the way, guys, Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau are dating. And of course I got reactions. So at least I'm happy that I found out. I used this opportunity to know that people are listening to me. So let me know what you think about this coupling, what you think about Pam and Liam. Let's make a name for them. A couple name. Pam and Liam sounds nice. Katy Perry and Justin. I don't know. I'll leave that to you. So to close this episode, we had 2 couples trending this week. We have 2 blondes trending this week. Opposite portrayal. And I really wanted to take lessons from these trends. There's a reason they're trends, and there's a reason I started mentioning trends and talking about trends in my podcast. They shape the way we see the world, and they shape the decisions that we make, and the way we see ourselves fit in this world. In order for us to be able to lift each other up, lift all this weight that we are experiencing, we need to be paying attention to that stuff. And I want to relate this to fitness and bodybuilding, and quickly I will relate it by saying that I do see that women still face so much criticism, especially when they're in roles that don't fit the norm. And unfortunately, this norm, when we have things like Sydney Sweeney doing these advertisements and the White House reacting, unfortunately, we as women will find it harder and harder to fit. And the more often I will walk into the gym and I will have dudes tell me that women should not be having muscle and should not be lifting heavy. Or I will have people tell me that disgusting comments like, do I want to be a dad to my son, right? So I shouldn't be experiencing things, and no woman should be experiencing criticism for doing what she loves. And we should, as women, be paving the path forward for us, not putting the bricks on it and giving excuses to horrible people to say horrible things to us. So lift this up and support us. And to close, I want to close on something positive and tell me how freaking cute is baby Franklin Richards. I still cannot stop thinking about him. He's just the cutest thing ever. And I think I'm gonna go knock on my neighbor's door right now and touch her belly because I cannot wait to see that baby. And until next time.